All right. Good afternoon, good morning, and good day to everyone. And welcome to the 53 episode of the STEM Girls Virtual Space. And I'm sure we're all happy to be here because this space has been so entertaining that our young girls out there are always inspired by this virtual space, hearing from the women in STEM. It's STEM. It's very very important for every woman to participate in, as it relates with our everyday life and every activities of our life. So I welcome you all to the African Girls Empowerment Network, STEM Girls Virtual Space, 53 episode. Today, we will be having an amazing speaker in the house. Okay, so but before we continue with the show itself, and please, I would love every one of us to enable low bandwidth by muting our microphones. Please, if you want to speak while the comments as we commence the show, please indicate, just send us a signal, a message on the chat box. We will respond to that and give you the floor to speak. Also, you should also know that this show will be recorded and uploaded later into the Age Network YouTube channel. Please use the chat box to type at any question, any message you have to ask the speaker while the show is on, please. Also, if you're experiencing any connection problems, enable low bandwidth mode and reduce your video quality. Thanks for waiting. Okay. Move to today's virtual space, 53 episode. As we all know, women are no less than any man in any field. We have seen several examples of women excelling in this over time in various STEM fields and serving the society for larger cause. We are the STEM Girls Initiative, aim to groom girls with the same kind of inspiration and zeal at the heart to excel in STEM fields and do their best. This talk show is the platform for the women in STEM to talk to the girls aspiring to excel in it. We are sure that after hearing from our guests, all the audience will be inspired to share and reach the skies. During this talk show, we would be conversing with a woman in the field of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, a woman who has made her mark and have now graciously taken the time to tell us about her journey and share with us her wisdom. Okay, I think our speaker was lost. Hello. Hello, doctor. Are you there?
Yes, I am there. Am I audible?
Sure. Yes, very well. You are.
Okay.
Yes.
Just give me a minute. I'll be sharing my.
That will be fine. Okay. I believe you've been able to sort out some of the issues you're having right now.
Oh yes, I wasn't able to unmute. So yes, I solved that.
Oh, fine. That's fine. Yeah, today we'll be having Dr. Molani, who holds a MSc in Botany and PhD at the Department of Biochemistry, University of Kolkata. She's currently works as a biology teacher in the higher education system. Her work includes the evaluation of students' learning requirements and the development of essential learning programs. She creates engaging courses to assess the education program's effectiveness and incorporates necessary adjustments for further improvement of the learning experience. She's also open to learning and sharing innovative ideas with peers worldwide. Wow, it's indeed an amazing woman. Thank you very much for honoring our invitation today. Hello, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear. Can I share my screen? It is not allowing me to, only the host can share.
I'm sure I would do that. Do you have a presentation for us?
Yes, I have a PDF. I can share that with you, so you can share
I will just
it for
grant
me.
you access
Not an
to
issue.
share. I will grant you access to share.
I shared it in the group, so you can share it for me as well.
Oh, that'll be fine. I'll check that now. Okay, doctor, you can share your screen now. Hello.
Yeah, I'll be sharing it.
All right, that'll be perfect.
Hello, we can't hear anything.
Can you share it for me, please? I just cannot share. I don't know what's the issue. Maybe it will take a longer time. So can you share it for me?
Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that now.
Hello?
Hello. Yeah, I'm doing just that. Just hold on. It's
Okay,
loading up.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you see the screen now? I hope you can.
Yeah, we can see the screen.
Okay. Okay, I was finally able to do it.
Oh, great.
Yeah. I can do it. Okay.
Okay, so,
So first and
thank you
foremost-
very much. Thank you very much, Doctor. We can
Okay.
see your, we can see your screen now. So are you ready for a question?
Yeah, I am. And
Or-
whatever I prepared today is from my experience. And I would really, I'm very eager to hear about everyone else's experience. I see many of you are not here. So maybe after this is uploaded to YouTube, I would be very eager to, hear about all the comments and, sharing experiences.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm looking forward to it. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Rukaya, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, over to you.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
I think some things to say. Maybe after that we can now throw the question.
It's fine. Okay,
I-
thank you very much, Doctor, for honoring our invitation today. It's indeed an honor to have you speaking with our guest
precisely.
today. Yeah, so our first question is, what is your field of study and what's got you interested in
Well, as you already introduced me, so I'll directly jump off to my research topic. So when I started off, I was just another, master's student, not having a lot of experience. And I just happened to come across this symbiosis in the biological world. So symbiosis is when I'm helping you and you are helping me in return. All right. So this kind of a symbiosis is very prevalent in nature across all the domains in the biological world. It's so very common. And I think even school kids know about it. So I think this attracted me a lot because this is similar to the philosophy that I follow in life, that for development as a community, I think there should be a mutual transaction of ideas, of collaboration that helps us evolve. I think I do that, I follow that in my life. And for my research, I follow that as well. So basically, it's microbiological ecology and the partnership that the microbial world has either amongst themselves or with plants, so that they can function as a unit.
Wow, that's very nice. Thank you. So what inspired you to becoming a woman you are today?
First of all was independence. I think it inspired me a lot. I wanted independence from everything, whether it is to take my own decisions, to having financial independence, to do what I feel like, to follow my passion. I think that inspired me to follow this career.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, so can you tell us about the difficulties, situations, or challenges you've ever encountered?
Challenges, I think it is first about confidence. Okay, so for me, it was like, am I good? So that was a big question that, I have been facing throughout. Okay, because obviously there will be someone who is better than me. And the idea is not to feel threatened or feel that, okay, I'm not good enough, so let's not try it. It's about how I can learn from a person who is better than me and how can be a better version of myself tomorrow. How I can learn, how I can improve every day. So I think I keep on telling myself this each and every day of my life. So I believe that for anybody, confidence, building confidence that yes, you don't know everything, but you are ready to learn. This is for me confidence, and that I think building it was one of the biggest challenge. Then was mentorship. I think mentorship is, for me, it's all about collaboration. Okay, so maybe some person in front of me, that person might not be, superior to me or very knowledgeable to me, but that person can share interesting ideas with me. And I think this is mentorship. Okay, so if I'm having a hard day at work, and if somebody says, encourages me to just carry on, I think that's mentorship. And this is, I think, missing, not missing, but I think it needs to be there a lot more. Okay, so that mentorship, finding a good mentor in amongst our colleagues, amongst our friends, I think it's very important. How this work-life balance? Okay, so while I'm at work, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't do this for my family. And while I'm doing my household work, oh my God, I'm missing my work. So I think finding a balance, it's so very important. And just striving for it makes me who I am. The fourth one would be visibility, recognition, and networking. So what I'm doing right now is networking. So when I followed the group, I saw so many brilliant youngsters who have just started their work, who have started their study, and how they are. I saw someone was doing international relationship, somebody was doing statistics, and so many things. You are doing this amazing work. So I think this networking, okay, how I can have something so very interesting to learn from each and every one of you, and how I can present what I know to the world. I think it's very important. Not many people get this opportunity to speak their ideas, to speak about who they are. So this opportunity to interact with people, I think it's so very important. So I have to deal with this every day, and I have to find out ways how I can do that. For example, if I don't get interesting groups like the STEM education group every day, I just read some research articles, and maybe I write my thoughts about it, so I can write a review on it maybe to share with the world. One of them has been accepted recently, and I think it's a very a nascent stage and of development, but still getting my ideas out in the world is one of the challenges that I think has to be dealt with. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. So how have you been able to overcome this challenge?
Overcoming this challenge. Okay. So I think this is a huge question, and not one generation of us can solve it. We do have gender stereotypes. You cannot do this. You just have other work. So why are you wasting your time? Just do some other work that's simple, that is quicker. These kind of stuff we often hear about them. Then I think digital literacy is something that I have observed is very important, because I come from India and it's still a developing country. Okay, so what I thought during the lockdown, I think I was lagging behind because obviously I couldn't go out, and I wanted to learn more, but I had no opportunity to do that. So I think during that time when everything was so challenging, focusing your ideas on, on improving yourself. In this case, digital literacy helped me a lot. I believe that I am, fortunate enough to have a proper internet connection, and I, self-taught myself several aspects of technology that will help me as a teacher and will help my students to learn as well. Okay, so I think digital literacy is something that I use every day, and that's how I fight for what I believe in. Okay, so yes, and another thing is I'm very curious. So even if it's not biology, I'm very curious to know what you do, what somebody else is doing. I all my students, many of them are biology students, as well as many of them are entrepreneurs. They have their own small business that makes them, independent enough. I always ask them about it. I always seek progress. So no matter who you are, from whichever part of the world you are, you can have, minimum exposure to what's happening outside, but finding that, yes, you can have something that somebody else doesn't have, and you can contribute that to the world. For example, I can see several similarities between Africa and India. For example, Africa is a very resource-rich country, right? So, continent, sorry. So, having these resources, they can have plants, they can have animals that nobody in the world knows of. Okay, so somebody, if a student or a teacher can make a catalog of that, how the tribal people who are very close to nature, how they are using that in their daily lives. Maybe they are using that in their diet, and that, makes them more healthy, So these kinds of information we can only have from the natives. We won't have access to that. So I think these understanding that what you know, what you have, how important it is to the world, and how you can share it with the world. I think understanding that is very, very important. Okay. And another thing I find is I do a SWOT analysis. Now, a SWOT analysis is understanding your strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So yes, I'm a very brilliant person, but that doesn't mean I don't have faults. So understanding what I am really good at, what I need to improve on, how I can do that, and how I can ask help from other people, from my collaborators, to improve. I think that's so very important. So the SWOT analysis, and yes, I have seen failure. I will see failure. I fail every day, but the determination to carry on. Okay, like I was preparing this presentation, but there are several aspects of my work that I'm not good at. Okay, that I'm failing at. But determination, okay, I will do something positive today. No matter what, no matter how bad I am at other aspects of my work, I will do something good today. That I think each and every brick that you place in your path, I think after years, you will see that you have paved such a good path for yourself and for your fellow partners. I think that's very important. And that's how I fight.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so from all these challenges you've experienced so far, what has propelled you to pursuing a career in this biochemistry? Why didn't you switch or just do away with this and go for something else?
Okay, so I think I'm interested in many subjects, but frankly speaking, I'm also a very practical person. So as I told you that I believe that from my understanding of today's world, be it biochemistry, be it biology, be it statistics, or any other subject, science, I think they are very, very, I would say interdisciplinary. So you cannot be doing biology without statistics. You cannot be doing, genome analysis without bioinformatics. So today it hardly matters whether you are doing biochemistry, whether you are doing just chemistry or plant science or microbes, because everything needs everything else. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think, sorry. Yes. So I think each and every aspect of the science is so very interrelated. And yes, there are many opportunities, job opportunities in biochemistry. So I chose this.
Okay, so which social problem do you think is most urgently to be solved when we talk about girls in STEM?
I will say this, I think it depends from society to society, maybe. From my aspect, from my experience, I think it is the thought process. So if I have been brought up with the idea that you are just supposed to have a basic education, and as long as you are literate, you don't need to think any further. Okay, so you basically brought up with that idea. So unlearning that, no, you can do better, you can do more. I think unlearning that and learning that, yes, I don't need to stop at where the society thinks I should stop. I think it's for me, that has been very challenging. So yes, the social problem is the thought process. One, I'm not good enough. I shouldn't be doing this right now. This is, I think, the most prevalent social problem. And even if you are doing something, the society is like not very supportive. So, I mean, you are basically your own support. And whatever little support you get is from people, like-minded people. And again, like-minded people. So again, it's about the thought process.
Well, thank you very much. So what are the skills required to becoming a botany in this biochemistry?
Okay, so skills, I think if you want to understand soft skills, as I am showing it on my screen, it's about being curious, or you need to seek progress or do your SWOTs or determination. But if you're talking about hard skills or technical skills, I think, as I told you, it depends what field you are in. Okay, so I will just give you a simple example. For example, if some student is living in a part of Africa that is very, resource rich in terms of natural diversity, say, so that person can make a catalog of the different types of plants available. So yes, one is researching. Okay, so you have to be dedicated towards it. It might take you, depending upon the area, depending upon the depth you are working at. So it might take you years. So one is researching. Second is you catalog whatever you get. Okay, then you classify all the plants that you are getting. Not only that, you can, so this is one kind of a work. Secondly, you can go further. For example, you can do a statistical analysis. What kind of a statistics? For example, you find out which plant, the proportion of which plant is higher compared to which plant. So you can see whether over the years, whether the natural diversity of that place is limited or, is being threatened. Okay. So that kind is like an ecological study. So if you find that it is threatened, what are the factors that are threatening it? So it is now combining biology with sociological study, with the different policies that a country is undertaking. So it's like an intermingled field again. The another aspect that can be followed is, okay, so you see that a particular natives of a particular area are having a particular plant in their diet. So why are they using it in their diet? Because our ancestors were very intelligent, okay, without even the knowledge of scientific knowledge of several aspects. They just used many local plants or animals in their diet. So why did they use it and how did it help them? Okay, so this is again another aspect of biology, or you can, isolate that particular compound from that particular plant so that that can be converted into drugs. All right. So that is another biochemical aspect of study. You can also patent it because obviously it is, it will come under the intellectual property rights and patent law. So as we will discuss the different careers, I think you can also observe an aspect of it. So if you see, it depends on what aspect of biology you are really working on. Okay.
All right, thank you very much. So how can we increase girls and young women participation in STEM?
Young women participation in STEM.
Yes.
So I think these kinds of initiatives, because again, it's a digital world, these kinds of initiatives are very important. I think, for what worked for me, I was just sitting there and doing my, reading and stuff. But I started researching because I had this internet access and it helped me to work while I was staying at my home. So I think I now look forward more to bioinformatical analysis, say studying the DNA-based diversity of some microbes. Okay, so understanding that for me, okay, I understand my limits. That yes, for me, managing my work, my life, and going out there to do some work at this point of time, if it is a bit challenging, I will move more towards doing science that allows me to work from the comfort of my home. Okay, so for you, just imagine where you work. Okay, so as I told you, like many of my students, their families are farmers. So what I ask them is, you have access to raw data. Okay, so you understand what kind of a pathogen is infecting your plant right now. That data I don't have access of. So you can study that. Many of my students, they say that they are using this particular fertilizer and they observe that their fields were green enough and they were they had a better yield and they were sturdy. So I just asked them, just think why using that fertilizer helped. Okay, so again, if I go into the depths of biology, many of us think about nitrogenous fertilizers. So, okay, add fertilizer, you will have a better yield. But yes, it's not true always, because you also need to understand that biology is also like a human body. Okay, I will only give you a vitamin if you are lacking in that. Plants also function like that. Okay, so you need to understand the soil that they are in. Understand what kind of a food they need. If they don't need nitrogen, don't add nitrogen. Okay, so, asking them to think. Maybe they are obviously they are still in college and they are not doing their PhDs or research, but just initiating them, inspiring them to think, to be curious. I think it's one of the major aspects that will help students to pursue their careers in STEM.
Oh, okay. So, are there scholarship, other opportunities for girls pursuing a career in STEM?
Can you come again?
Are there scholarships and other opportunities for girls and young women pursuing a career in STEM?
Career in STEM, yes. I think I just I'm still for my students. I was just still looking for it. I observed that earlier, I would say, since I'm from a developing country and since I was very academia focused person, so I thought, okay, you study biology and either you teach in schools or in colleges or you are a scientist. Okay, but there are so many aspects and I have just listed a few of them. Okay, for example, you can go for communication and outreach. So what you are doing right now is communication. You are doing a type of STEM communication. So if you come across a scientific story that you think, the layman should know, okay, somebody not from a scientific background, you just need to tell them the facts, in very simple terms. It should not have technical jargon. Then that's scientific communication. You can also look for scientific writing. That's like getting across, scientific ideas in a more technical form. I will not go into the details, but it is like, taking your understanding to more specialized people. Okay, so maybe you can write a research article, so that kind of writing. You can also go for research and development in the corporate sector, like in medicine development, or maybe you are developing, a kit that are used in all the hospitals or research labs. You can improve that. You can go for scientific policy making. You can go for consultancy studies. You can also go for IPR, as I mentioned, in intellectual property rights or patent law. You can go for sales. It actually depends on what you are good at. So for me, I love instruction. I love curriculum design. So I am teaching. But if somebody likes, scientific journalism, she might take that. So there are a lot of careers that I think, can be managed while maintaining a proper work-life balance, while, pursuing their studies, while they are at home. And there are so many options. So I think girls should really, learn more into these aspects. And they are also the basis on which the development of every country depends. So I think we need people like this.
Okay, thank you very much. So what job or career opportunities are there for girls who are aspiring or want to study botany?
As I told you in my last slide, career opportunities are many. For example, if you are doing just classical botany, then it is about identifying plants. Okay, identifying plants that are still unknown, whose benefits are still unknown, and which need to be, which need to be studied further in order to find out what their true medicinal properties are. Okay, so finding out rare plants, finding out, observing about plants there can be ecological studies, there can be bioinformatics studies. As I told you, all these that I listed earlier, like scientific policies and everything, they are also a part of the career that children can choose. It depends, actually. As I told you, it is all very interdisciplinary nowadays. So you cannot be doing scientific writing without proper knowledge of a particular language. So if you are doing vernacular scientific communication, you should be proficient in your vernacular, in your native language. If you're doing, say, scientific writing in English, you should be proficient in English. So not only the knowledge of botany, but also the knowledge of, the language, the grammatical ideas, the idea of how people think. What are the common misconceptions that people need to get rid of? These ideas are also very important. So it's a mixed world, yes.
Thank you. Okay, so what would you consider to be your greatest achievement as a woman in STEM, and as a
Oh my
passionate
God.
person of your time?
Okay, so I wouldn't say achievement. I have just started. So yes, I have not achieved something that, I should be lauded on. But I think for me, what I wanted to achieve was, as I told you earlier, was freedom. I wanted freedom to make my own decisions, my following my own passion, and mentoring my learners. I think it's very important because, just as I told you, there are many learners who come and, who show me that, yes, they have gone to their fields because, as I told you, that their family was the, farmers. So when they start thinking, yeah, I have been using this fertilizer or this process of cultivation for so long, but, I didn't even think why I'm doing this. So just making them curious, I think, is one of my achievements. Then inspiring them to be independent. Many of my students, they come from families that, that many are supportive of further education, many are not. So just making them curious, making them strong enough to say that, yes, I want to be educated further, is one of my achievements. Making them curious about the world. Yes, see, if you can do this, maybe, your education can help you, help more of your friends, maybe help people who, with a little support can do brilliantly. Little things like this makes my day. Okay.
Hello, we lost you.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Sure, we can. We can.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. Presently, we've been facing various cases of health insecurity globally. So from your field now, what are your contributions to solving these problems? Or what do you think are the
I think it's a
possible solutions to them?
in a global context, yes. See, I think I will talk it in terms of my country, what I believe for my country. I think knowledge of what needs to be improved and how it needs to be improved. Okay, because we can suggest a lot of suggestions, but often the developing countries are not in a position, okay, to implement those solutions. For example, I will talk about COVID. So everybody said maintain a distance, maintain safe distance. But for my country, I mean, it is, I think, the second, it has the second largest population in the world. For us, maintaining a distance is not an option at all. So what works for one country shouldn't, obviously, is not applicable for another country. So it's very country specific. For me, I think this STEM education, if I talk about STEM education, then yes, I think knowledge is important. For example, if I communicate by living in India, I communicate with one of my seniors who is abroad and I ask for help, then that person can suggest from their experience what I can do to improve myself. So this transfer of ideas, what I can do on my own, can solve a lot many problems. If not, I'm not very, proficient a person to talk about health issues. It's not my domain. So I will be limited to STEM education. Yes.
Oh, great. Okay, so to the audience, girls out there, do you have a question for us? Any
Yes, I will really.
question?
If you have any questions, sharing their ideas is very important.
Hello.
How
Hello.
Yes, here I am. So
Yeah.
that was an amazing presentation, Monolina. Enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Good
No
to see
problem.
you.
Yeah, of course.
Why don't you share your experience, what you do, and how you plan to improve yourself?
Okay. So currently I'm in London. I just graduated with a master's degree, which is global governance and diplomacy. And back in India, I did my undergrad where I studied chemistry and biology. And one of the reasons I was inclined to join Age Network was I've been reading a biography by Elizabeth Nyamayaro, and she's from Africa, a great personality who is working in UN and is campaigning for gender equality. So she is someone who really inspired me for that. And during Monolina's presentation, there were a few things which I could completely agree to, like where she mentioned about the gender stereotypes in Africa, in India, and then balancing those responsibilities, family responsibilities, where people usually have this mindset that a woman is supposed to be in the kitchen and take care of kids, and then a man should go to work. I think everything just starts from that mindset. And today, like she mentioned as well, it's important to influence the thought process of people. And narrowing down to the values and mission of Age Network, what I could think was maybe we could narrow down this issue to Africa and try to understand what are the obstacles that the girls in Africa right now are facing to pursue their education in STEM is what I thought is very relevant. And this is, I mean, I can see the participants that they come from different countries with different educational backgrounds. So I think we should, in our own time, just research and try to find the issues of what they think are important and how we can help the girls in Africa with solving those issues. Some of the issues that I think of right now, there are these two issues. One is the awareness in the society that men and women both can do their responsibilities as family members and also career. We have evidence of women going into space and pursuing amazing medical careers into softwares and so many more examples. And the second one is learning opportunities. Maybe coming up with a brief way of, or maybe online courses, some workshops, some boot camps, bring everything together. And there are so many free courses out there for girls to use this to improve their skills in STEM or to learn something new if they wish to become a doctor, an engineer, and things like that. So I think these two could be the things we could narrow down at, and many more. I mean, if people actually understand and know what are the issues people that are facing, it could be easier for us to narrow down the work we are doing, which will be more relevant to everybody, if that makes any sense to you all.
Sure, it
That
does.
makes a
Thank
lot
you
of
very
sense.
much. Thank you very much.
No
Okay.
problem.
So does anyone else have a question? Do you have anything to say, suggestion? Any question for
Yes.
our guest? Okay, while we expect other question, I have a question for you here. Okay. During your studies, what did you find enticing, or what enticing programs are they that capture the interest of you pursuing a career in STEM? And what are the impacts so far?
Is this question for me?
No, it's for a doctor. But then if you have a
Are
chance,
you there?
if you have anything to add up, you can also do that.
Unless
I
Hello,
said,
Rukiat.
Ashwarya, please go ahead and answer this question. I'm very interested.
So unless anyone else wants to answer, I'll go first and talk about it. So my course is not directly related to STEM, but in my career, after finishing my master's, what I realized is you need more than a master's degree to get a job and a successful career. So things like if you know programming, if you know some other skills, if you know about science, if you are concerned about what's happening around you, especially the health issues that you mentioned earlier. And with globalization, all the countries have become more connected. So I think it's very important for us to understand as an individual that it's important to think about the people, the girls in Africa or the girls in other developing countries who are suffering through those problems. And I think this is something which I find very inspiring and exciting. So throughout my career, I am looking at improving my skills in STEM as well. Technology is growing, and with things like with COVID and pandemic happening, digital learning environment has become so much more important today that even though one is not pursuing a direct career in STEM, it is important and very relevant if one learns these skills. So it's like a day-to-day requirement today. And platforms like Coursera and edX, where there are so many free courses available and you can literally learn any skill. Just go search whatever skill you want to learn, and there you are with like 5 to 6 weeks of courses, and you can literally master any skill. So we were talking about the ideas of what we could do in practicality. So I think this is one of the thing we could come together, bring up all the courses that are available today. Most of them are free courses, ease the accessibility to people across the world so they can just, find it easier to learn rather than keep searching if there are any other opportunities for us. Just go there, learn there, and improve yourself.
Well, thank you very much, Ashley.
No problem.
Over to you, Melania.
I think I agree with Ashwarya 100% because earlier I used to think, okay, so STEM is science. Okay, so if you are from any other background, we are not interrelated. But as the pandemic has been a boon that way, because as I sit down to think, when I was preparing courses for my children, then I observed that even web designing, it's something that's, oh my God, it's not related to science at all. We used to think that's for design people. But web designing, how you make something look very attractive, even that is very important when I implement my curriculum to my students. Second is psychology. People are going through so much. So in India, psychology is it's not related directly to STEM. So, okay, but I need to understand that. I need to understand why you are feeling low and how I can, help you overcome that, even if I'm not a trained professional. So yes, that comes into play. Then obviously understanding about the subject, and that's a very common thing. And as Ashwarya mentioned, programming. In biology, I'm not a programmer, okay? But for even if you want to do a simple analytical work, today you need to know Python. So I think I need to get this idea. I learned this quite late in life, but I want to tell all my juniors that if you have a passion for something, you can always mingle it with something else. For example, if you have a passion for mingling with people and being communicative, you can always come to science communication. If you have an idea, if you have the flair for writing, you can go for scientific editing. Okay, so no skill goes to waste. That's my take. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, does anyone else have anything to say? Do you have any question? Any thing to add up to this? Okay, I can see a chat on a message from Margaret. She said, I had always wanted to study medicine back then, but due to my low score in mathematics, I was advised to go for art class. And I did that, but end up in social science in university. Okay, so fast forward today, I am more of tech survey. Wow, well done, Margaret. I think children need to be monitored more closely to know their abilities and then develop themselves for every field are interwoven and important. Thank you very much, Margaret, for that input. Does anyone else has anything to say, any question?
I would like to add something to what you said earlier. Margaret, what you said, I think it's completely right, because most of the times when kids are not doing well in school, our parents and people, they usually say that, oh, you're not scoring good in maths, you're not great at science, you'll just end up doing an arts degree, which is not bad again. So I think it should be a point of issue, a point of choice of what girls like to pursue. Could be arts, could be science. Arts field is not less than the science field, or it's just so much interwoven and important. So I think it's just a choice of how girls want to pursue their career and and shape their lives.
Yeah, thank you very much, Asmi. Okay, so to our doctor and everyone out there, do we have advice? What piece of advice we have to offer to our girls out there that are aspiring to pursue careers in STEM?
Okay, hello.
Hello,
Yeah.
I can hear you, Rakia. Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
In addition to what Margaret said, I don't think today you need to have, even whether you have a good grade in school or not, you can still be whatever you want to be. Just like Ashwarya said, you don't, your grade in school is no longer a barrier to what you can be. You can switch to science wherever you like, whenever you like, because there are many courses online, just like she said, unless you are not willing to learn. But if you're willing to learn, you can achieve anything, even if you have a bad grade in school.
Yeah, thank you very much, Rukiat, for that addition. What more do we have to say? Our girls out there. Hello, I can hear somebody saying something. Okay, so I can also see another comment on the chat. This presentation was amazing. This might be off point, but the lecturer usually inspire me to proceed with my thoughts of my graduates in school, where I worked as a gynecologist, okay, engineering, and lots of discouragement for women in the field. Wow. So what have you done so far to this? What is your advice to women? Our man in the house, can you speak? What is your advice from this you've just shared with us for the girls?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, I was thinking it's only women that are supposed to talk. Since I'm allowed to say something, let me
No, it's for everyone.
Okay, a piece of advice to the ladies, especially the parents. Okay. I am talking this as someone that is teaching mathematics and statistics in school. A good place to catch the children, the female, when they are very young. before you know, when they grow older, you will see that they have a total hatred for mathematics and anything that concerns computation. I think that's one of the things that drive women mostly from engaging in STEM studies. I teach statistics in a tertiary institution, and most of the time they complain bitterly that that is the number one thing that scares them. At times, let me set an example. For students that I think I taught them when those are mass communication students, they are purely art students. When they are forced to do statistics, because I think they need the idea in terms of their field, they would be complaining that this particular thing they did not plan to meet them on their way. So what happened is, we should, as parents, we should engage them when they are young, try to encourage them to take mathematics serious, and any other course that deals with computation. So this is my only advice to them. Catch them young when they are little kids. Ensure you groom them, let them love mathematics and other courses that deal with computation. After that, you will see them shining. One thing I observed from few ones that are in statistics courses, they are very brilliant. In short, they beat most of the men.
Wow.
If I ask them, they will tell me they learned that when they were in secondary schools and those are pre-primary and other schools. So we should try as much as possible to engage them, make them love mathematics.
Wow, thank you very much, Kobong. Thank you very much for that advice. Okay, I can see a hand up. Anne, can you speak now? The floor is open.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Okay,
Welcome.
I think another issue that should be addressed is that as parents, for female children, we feel that there are the society in general, they have this notion that there are some courses that females shouldn't study, rather they should go for only courses that female can study. I don't think females should be limited in that aspect. They should go for what they want. If a child wants to study engineering, why don't you let the child go for engineering? Engineering is not meant for men only. Or a child wants to study architecture or any other course, they feel it's only a man that could do that course. It's not for women. And even some business world, in the corporate world, you see some fields where they'll tell you a woman shouldn't be given this role because she's a woman, rather is a man that should take up the role. So it's really wrong. I think that the society in general, the society in general is not even supporting the fact that women should be given an opportunity to be in certain roles that they choose to and can perform very well. So I think we should change this. It's about changing the notion of the society when it comes to these challenges. I think that's my own addition.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Rukia, you want to say something?
Yeah, in addition to that, while we're looking at our parents being contributing to that part, let us look at the institution. Just like in Nigeria now, you might actually want to be in engineering, but you'll be given another course. I don't know if anyone has experienced that. So
Sure,
that's also another
happening. It's happening. Yeah.
Yes, even some schools abroad, they will give you a course that you don't actually apply for. So that's also another problem we're facing.
Thank you very much. So just like one of our speakers spoke in the, I think 45th episode, she said, to parents that are not allowing their children, the female children to participate should be brought to law. I don't know how we want to carry out that, but I think it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, but then we need to speak with them, let them understand first. You can't tell a woman who does not know anything about education to release the children or give room for them to study, but unless they have been spoken to, and then they know that this is this. Okay, so does anyone else have anything to say in addition before we call it up here?
I just want to say a thank you for arranging this and time so that everybody just could just come together and have this amazing discussion with everyone.
Yeah, thank you very much. And thank you to our girls that are out there listening. So I believe our girls will be inspired hearing this from our speakers. And then we are permit me to share my screen again. Okay, just give me some minutes. Okay, we are back. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Thank you, Ashen. And thank you, Anna. Thank you, Rukiat. It was amazing having you all joining the show today. And here is our Get Involved package for our girls. So those who want to become a STEM girl can participate in the next tech show and interview our amazing female scientists in the house. Okay, so for the mentors, can become a mentor, you can assist in organizing a STEM girls STEM workshop or summit, help us lead our girls, okay? And then you can become a partner, a friend, okay? You contact us to organize a school club in your school and to air the talk show in your radio stations. Can contact us. We are always connected and ready to work with you. To our donors also, and everyone, the floor is open. Ambassadors of STEM girls, please, you can represent the STEM girls in the public, wherever you find yourself, in your networks, to your friends. I mean, even your social media platforms, you can talk about STEM, introduce this, talk about this to girls, let them know that they are important and they can actually excel in these fields. And this is not just a men-dominated field alone, but they can also be exemptional to excel in this also. Okay, so I would also like to inform us that STEM Girls store is still open for those that want to get the t-shirts, STEM Girls ambassador, STEM Girls mentor, STEM Girls friend, volunteer, donor. The t-shirts are still available for sales. So you can also contact us. If you are here in Nigeria, we have the copies here. You can just contact us. We have our WhatsApp numbers here. We have our emails also. Just reach out to us to place your demand for any. Okay. So for those that are that you can support in one way or the other, you can just reach out to support us. So donations are welcome. Thank you very much, everyone, for making this show a success today. Thank you to the volunteers that joined and every other one. The girls, I believe we've learned a lot from this. So we look forward to meeting you all next in the next episode. So in the same time. Okay, so bye.
Bye-bye. Have a lovely day, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.